have the same definition as running the streets how it used to be. So running the streets now means like going to go visit family. Oh, we went to the park today. So those kind of running the streets.
Yeah,
I'm
you
glad you
technically.
can make a little bit of time.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy.
Yes.
Pretty
So
busy.
I heard.
Yeah, how was your vacation?
What vacation?
Oh, you didn't have a vacation. You was off for how long? You said you
A
was
week.
off for
Yeah.
a week. That's good. Be off a week. That's some time off. Well, I guess it's not enough time, is it?
Well, you know what happened was my brother came with his family. My sister-in-law and my two little nieces, they came from Texas a couple of years ago. They moved to Texas. And so I, we haven't seen each other all year. Everybody's been trying to follow the rules for the panorama. And so
Panorama.
finally, everybody was kind of just like, let's take the risk. Like most families, I have older people in my family, and I think what pushed my brother and my sister was just thinking of how bad they would feel if, God forbid, something happened to the elders in the family and you had a chance to see them, but you didn't. So they came on out here, and it was my brother's first time meeting my daughter. So it was just like not a vacation because I'm running back and forth to the city. Um, my family lives in Inglewood, so it's like a little bit of a drive, and then you remember the production of packing up a kid, and yeah.
All of the above.
Yes. How
All of
was
the
your
above, man. But
vacation?
well, transitioning to the new job, working 10, 12 hours a day.
Woo,
Yes, my feet be cussing me out. You hear me?
barking.
But the checks are lovely.
Right,
The
I'm
checks are lovely.
sure.
I'm not
I
gonna
was gonna
lie.
say, I know you're
Oh
not
yeah.
volunteering, so
Well, I don't know. I kind of like that money, so I got to go get it. You know,
need to live.
ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You feel me?
I do.
Nobody's gonna
Yes,
do it for you.
indeed.
So
Yes,
I
indeed.
got my little habits. I got my ways. Set
Right.
in them anyway. So I'm copacetic
Yeah.
with the work ethic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just maintaining that lifestyle and some.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. So man, there's so much going on. I really don't know where to begin. But I'm gonna have to tease you right quick with a sports tip, because how y'all gonna take your boy from the Clippers? I mean, you see what all done transpired since the last time we did a video? That is
It's
wild,
yeah.
isn't
And sports is so messy. It's like a soap opera. The fact that, the first preseason game, the first scrimmage game is against the Clippers so he can face his old team. It didn't face him though. He did good.
it?
I
LeBron
liked
make
what
you
I
drink.
saw. Yeah. Well, the clear makes
Well,
you I don't know. Clear makes
now,
you
now the addition of Montrezl Harrell, what do you
Mhm.
think that's gonna bring to the table to the
I'm
Lakers,
hoping it I'm
along with
hoping
Schroeder, and who else do you have?
we got Schroeder. We like him. And then the other standout, I mean, he was always on the team, but I think he'll probably see some more minutes, THT. But I'm hoping that Trez will make up for some of the size that we lost. Because I feel like we're definitely smaller now,
Ooh,
right? Because,
somebody's observant.
yeah, so a lot of people had a lot to say about McGee. I liked McGee. He was a big man. And then Dwight, I think he was a very good role player. I wish we could have kept him. And I think we're going to miss some size. I think we're going to miss it. But I like Montrez. I like the way he plays. I like his physicality. So, and it didn't phase him at all. I saw him looking at his old team like, I look way better in purple and gold. So,
But did you see my boys last night?
mm-mm.
They look good. She said
Who?
no. They look good.
Who? Which one of your teams? Because
Oh,
He's
I don't
struggling.
jump
You talking
ship.
about
No, 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 no,
he
no.
does. Yes.
RJ had a good game. Nerlens Noel had a good game.
Yes.
Now, if Kevin Knox could be more aggressive, the rookie Obi Toppin,
Mm,
it's gonna be fine. He might be the next Amari Stoudemire. I kid you
I
not.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's deep. They talk about his defense, but who play defense in the NBA right now? No one. I don't think.
I don't know. I feel like our number 2 was up for defensive player of the year. And I feel like
Who's it,
we always
Anthony
put on
Davis?
and I feel like we always
I mean,
put on more points.
I mean, that's a given. Just like Kawhi Leonard's a given. But other than them, who else
Oh,
played defense
God.
in the NBA?
Nobody, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Ooh, really? So you missed the physicality of basketball?
Yes. And I can't believe it
Oh,
because your team is in the East, and I feel like that's like been like a hallmark of all of the like legendary good Eastern teams. Like when your team was good for a couple of years, like when who with Patrick squad, Detroit, Boston. Anytime there's like a dominant team in the East, that's what it is. That's why it's their defense, it's their physicality, because they don't, besides Larry Bird, y'all don't have no, and Jordan, y'all don't have like shooters. Like that's not what y'all do in the East.
no, they were more shooting guards that played more in the paint. I give you that. They weren't no run and gun team, more like the Denver Nuggets was in the early '80s, the
Right.
Lakers,
That
Seattle.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they were some running guns. And I agree with you. When they played the East in a 7-game series, the East tried to slow the game down and bring it
Uh-huh.
to their
And
tempo to take advantage of it.
okay, whistle
Most
blowing
definitely.
every 5 minutes or so. Yeah, so
Wow. So man, let's cook, man. I mean, flip a dice. I mean, so much going on. Come on, I'll let you roll with it and I'll come right back at it. I mean, it's so much transpired. I don't even know where to begin, tell the truth.
just so much. Same. I don't know either. I'm just like every day is just like, what? What? It's been a minute. So it's been like almost like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, right? So much has happened.
Oh yeah. How can we forget? How can we forget? Tiny Debo.
I know. Rest in peace.
Oh man, 2020 been fucked up. You hear me? I
Yeah.
mean, goodness.
Yeah.
Start off with my boys. We lost Kobe, lost the Super Bowl. I mean, shit. I mean, shit
It's
just went
funny
down.
it's funny that you say that because like the other day I turned on the TV and they were almost doing like a montage like 2020 in review, and I was thinking to myself, and they had just gotten to Kobe, right? And they were on like the 5th bad thing. And this is only March. I'm like, I don't know if they should play this and go over the year. People are gonna get depressed and try to kill themselves if you go over this year. Like,
Yeah.
but it's a lot. I mean, it started off like and it's still like so yeah, 2020 has been
Yeah.
one of those years. Whew,
Well,
whew,
I got
child.
something. I did a video on it, but I still want to cook on it because this is crazy. I don't know where he was. Was he in Nevada? I want to say California, but anyway, he was minding his business, and he heard his dog outside making a noise. He go outside. It's a bear dragging a dog by the head, going on by this way. But
Ooh,
hold on. It gets better. Guess what? Guess what he do? He drops whatever the fuck he was doing, go tackle the bear, hopped on the bear until he released the dog, and
oh
the bear
no.
ran off.
Oh no, I didn't see that. That's
Oh
crazy.
my God.
What?
Listen here.
No, no.
Listen here.
Wait,
Had that been me, come on now. That
you would have
dog would have
said
been
bye to the
dead.
dog. Yeah, like, it's been real. You were a good pet. Uh-uh.
They love their dogs. Listen here. Shh. It is what it is on that. Whatever. I'm not fighting no bear. Have you
That would
seen
have
that
been the
movie
day you
Faces of
said bye.
Death? You ever
Mm-mm.
seen the Faces of Death? Man, listen here. I seen where a bear just man head gone.
Yeah. It's
I mean, it's
serious.
serious.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
man, it's just like that
No,
was
that couldn't have been
crazy.
me. That couldn't have been me. And I love dogs now. I haven't always been a dog lover, but I did love my dog. But I have to tell you, if I would have opened my door and saw a bear, bye for me. I love you, dog. I loved you. You gotta go. I'm
And
not
then,
doing
the
it.
bear kept on coming back, days later. It's something that the bear won't. Because
Yeah.
he kept on doing editing on his report, but that's them. I can't deal with that. That's like
Mhm.
skydiving and going hiking in the woods. I'm not gonna do that shit. No, no. Unless I have armor, guns, you know, security.
So what are you trying to say, that a certain type of person has sort of this like affinity for like near death experiences?
I don't know what he was tripping on, but first of all, I'm not attacking no bear. I'm not jumping out of an airplane. I'm not doing nothing out the norm
But
that
people
I know
do,
my chance.
right?
Yeah, and you know what they do it for? Views. You see people do more stupid things for views than anything.
I definitely feel like that's true now. Everybody wants a click, everybody wants a view, and everybody wants a like. But I do feel like, you know, um, just living on this earth and having that ability to like hear the drum beat, we got a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of soul. I do feel like, I don't know, but maybe our experience here on this earth is just a little more soulful and rhythmic. And um on top of that, we are socially, oppressed. Like there's like this like weird thing we're acting out as Black people and other people that want to be called people of color. And
Oh
maybe
God.
others like push themselves to do these like death defying things so they can feel something. Like they can feel something. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, just a theory. But
You may be right on that. I mean,
wanting to jump off of stuff and wanting to just, have that rush and that woo. Maybe it's because they're not like connected. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'm just pontificating.
now listen, when I was in the military, I had to jump from a 12-foot diving, ramp, right? And I'm looking down. 12 feet don't seem, high, up in the air, but
But shit,
going
yes, it
down,
is. Yeah. Oh yeah.
and they told us to look at the flag and just step off with your hands. Man, I was so scared.
Right.
I dropped to the bottom of the pool. My feet touched the bottom, and it seemed like it took forever for me to get up. I'm serious, man. Then I had to tread water, and I could just imagine people bungee jumping out of planes.
Yeah. It's the
You know,
adrenaline, that feeling of, whoo, it's the feeling of near death, but also all the endorphins. It's a high. When people talk about it, I get why they're doing it, but I also just feel like, I don't know, I've never craved that feeling. Like, interesting. I've never wanted that feeling of, whoa, like, okay.
have you ever flown a airplane before?
No, but I took a helicopter ride.
Really?
Have I ever
Really?
flown? Have I
Yes.
piloted a plane?
No,
No.
no. Have you ever flown in an airplane before?
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay.
I thought you meant like
Oh,
flown it. Like, have I
oh,
been the
okay.
pilot? Like, no.
Well, just imagine, you don't have no control over who's flying, and that thing just dropped. You know, just imagine that feeling. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
near death. You are gonna die. It's a done deal. So I mean,
yeah, but
that's
that's different. It's a different sensation because I would imagine if you're in an airplane that
mm,
malfunctions and that falls out of the sky, it isn't the anticipated rush of I'm gonna go rock climbing or I'm gonna climb high and then jump off of a cliff into water because I want the feeling of the rush. I want the adrenaline. It's a different feeling that takes over in an emergency. It's more like adrenaline, like fight or flight. So in other words, it's not the same endorphins of, oh, this is fun. I'm free falling. You know, people skydive for fun. People do risky things for fun. But if you're just taking a risk, like every minute you breathe, you could die. I mean, you could cross the street and get hit by a car. If you're in a plane, it could fall, but fight or flight would kick in. Like, can I survive? Can I make this? If we crash in the water, you know, can I survive? Like, it's a different feeling than just people who are thrill seekers and risk takers. I think they're searching for something that, like I said, quite frankly, I think that just my ability to hear the drum beat, I think I don't crave that feeling. I just don't crave it. Like, I don't. But I don't know. Some people they're junkies for it. They want to jump off planes. Once you do it, then you get it. But I will never know. I will never know.
So are you happy with your new finally president?
I'm not surprised about anything that's going on, including the fact that he is the president-elect and not officially transitioning, and that the current president has no plans of conceding to defeat, you know, and that he's already pulling in favors from the judges that he's appointed to their lifetime positions in the Supreme Court. He's already like, so y'all got me, right? Y'all gonna overturn this, right? So it's just a lot. It's a lot of shenanigans going on, but I like that everything is so upfront. Like, I like that Biden is saying what he has to say, that it's leaking out and that people are unhappy, because that's engagement. That's okay. We got you here. Continue to step on his neck. Continue to push for what you want. Push and push and push and push, because that's what you have to do. A politician has to do nothing but be a politician and make promises and then continue to steal all the way through. You know, and it's up to us to hold them accountable and to move policy forward. So I've been checking him out. I've been hearing him saying a few things and meeting with people and not meeting with people and saying this and not saying that. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. And you know, I hear a lot of people are already disappointed in some type of broken promises and whatnot. So I'm like, hey, that's why I don't get into politics.
Yeah.
It's like Chinese, you know, language when they're out there, you know, it is what it is on that. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the versus battles?
Well, I was kind of nervous. Yeah, I was kind of nervous for tonight because, you know, Miss Ashanti and Keisha Cole were supposed to be going on tonight.
Really?
I was like, we're going to have to reschedule because, you know, I want to see that. But the people said that Ashanti said that she has COVID and that she, you know, she's going to try to work it out or something. But basically the versus is canceled or postponed. But I was really looking forward to it. I think it's dope. It's a dope platform. I've been getting my life. I've liked every single one that I've tuned into. And I haven't missed that many. Like some of the rap ones, I kind of just like, I wanted to participate, but maybe was working. But definitely when they pull in the R&B, yeah, to get my glass of wine and reminisce, sing along off key.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the platform. I love the concept. I love how they put people that you can see why it's a versus, like they're evenly and equally yoked. I love it. I love it. To this day, my favorite versus has been Erykah Badu and Jill Scott.
Jill Scott. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I was listening to The Odd Couple, and they were talking about the Jake Paul and Nate Robinson fight.
Yes.
You wrong. Oh, you so wrong.
That was funny. It's not a funny thing. I thought That's funny. Now, you know, anytime you rewatch a piece of that fight, because I did not see it live because I didn't pay for it. So all I could see was a replay and people, you know, with their creativity, with the memes and they stretching out Snoop's voice and with the whole knockout. It's funny. It's not
Oh,
funny.
y'all so wrong. He's a
What you-
former Nick. That's why I can't laugh. We
Another Nick
tried.
down. Another Knickerbocker down.
Damn. But I was listening to the Odd Couple, and boxing better watch out because just like we had the verses with Jeezy and
Mm.
Gucci, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let them go get 6 months in training. Let them go box it out. Now, how much money do you think that would you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can come up with?
No, I think it would be a huge thing. I think it would be a big thing. Cause like that's the ultimate reality TV, becoming obsessed with watching people and then just seeing that tension build up to where they're fighting and they're throwing stuff at each other. Like that's what you want to see. So if there's like this celebrity grudge match, especially if it's two celebrities where people are invested and they like this person, they're fans, and you know that there's some ongoing beef, and then it culminates in a boxing ring. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
Yes.
of course, like pure entertainment gold for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I hated that Jake Paul knocked my man out. But
Yeah, it had some negative
Tyson,
side effects.
yes, it
No, because I
did.
mean, there's a lot of
Ty-
bullying going now. Like people picked a side. Like now there's like walking around and posturing against any black man you see because that white man knocked out a black man, so he speaks for all of us. So there's like a lot that went
Nah,
with
they
it.
better sit that shit down.
No, I'm just saying that's what I
It's a difference
heard.
between boxing. Yeah,
That's
it's a
what
difference
I
between
heard.
boxing and fighting. But boxing, don't nobody. You don't listen here. You don't play boxing.
Yeah,
You do not play boxing. You are a boxer. You understand?
yeah.
I train with my Sifu in mixed martial arts.
Mm,
Now that's something that you have to be willing to be doing. You just don't. Oh, I'm gonna just practice just because. No, you got to be out there doing it. So same as boxing. Practice. I mean, practicing. No. You got to be a boxer. You got to have a mentality. You're a fighter. And Nate Robinson, yeah, probably showing out in front of his peers. Once again, I knock him out. Whatever. You got to train
yeah. And respect
yearly,
the sport.
10 miles a day. You got to get your wind up, uh, positioning, guard up. I mean, it's
Yeah.
boxing
I
is
mean,
not easy.
yeah. Yeah. No, I can't imagine. It's not my favorite sport to watch. I can't say that I know too much about it, but my connection to it is, you remember the video game console, a Wii, a Nintendo Wii, where you had the little
Yes.
remote? Okay. And they had a little boxing game. And just from playing the game where you had to hold your hand up and hit and box, after 10 minutes, just holding your hands in this position is physical. Like you can't, it's just, I could imagine there's so much that goes into it. The mental stamina, just holding your arms up. I could just imagine they must feel
And
like lead.
breathing.
Yes, and breathing, but just the heaviness with a glove. I could imagine after 3 rounds, after 4 rounds, how it'll feel like lead. Like, oh Lord, let me put my hands down. It's just, yeah. I definitely know enough to know you shouldn't disrespect that sport. It's not as easy as it looks, and it's not like a fight. Like when you street fight, you think about maybe 30 minutes for a fight before a winner is determined, and then the loser be like, okay, stop playing, all right, stop playing. A street fight may last 30 seconds, a minute, maybe. And I think people
Yes.
think, I could fight, I could beat you up. Yeah, if it was just like a clash, but a boxing match is a completely different thing. Stamina alone, it couldn't be
And
me.
Conor McGregor had to find out. And I don't care too
Right.
much for Floyd. I don't care too much for Floyd, but Floyd just really just toyed with him.
Yeah,
He toyed with him until he started,
like he does with
Conor
everybody.
McGregor got frustrated and started to beat him upside the head like this.
Yeah,
It's not easy.
no, no.
It's not
And I
easy
will
at all.
say, I kind of had a little like he does with everybody because I know that he does a lot of dancing in the ring. But even with that, even that's a strategy and hard to do.
What you said, what you said. So your boys are 9 and or are they 10-1? Are they 9-1?
We got one loss to the little punk ass Las Vegas Raiders.
That's because it's a rival
Um,
game. You
yeah,
gotta feel good.
interdivision games are always tough. Like it's for sure the Broncos play us hard like that, Raiders play us hard like that, and we play them hard right back. So yeah, they're gonna give us a run for their money. But yeah, we tied with the Steelers for best record in the what? In the
AFC.
league. In the league.
Oh, in the league. Oh, excuse me. She
Yeah.
said the league. I thought it was the AFC. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's just,
But they're pretty disappointed down here. They let Baker Mayfield clown on the Titans last week, and I was surprised. And I think they play Pittsburgh, don't they? I believe
yeah.
they do play Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And AFC is gonna be a toss-up. It's gonna be a toss-up.
And that's not because there's so much talent. It's just like a fight for mediocrity.
God, I'm pissed because once again, my boys showed the blueprint how to beat Kansas City. And teams just cannot execute it. They try, but they can't. And I just we gave the ball game away. Yes, I cry. Every Sunday. I see them bastards play. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. No.
You sitting down watching a
Mm.
game,
Yeah.
just like your
Yes.
quarterback.
Damn.
Like I told you he was going to re-injure himself. I told you that. I told you they needed to give him a little bit more time. I knew he was going to get hurt again.
Damn, you said that shit to me.
I told you.
I don't think he's the man, but look at Cam Newton. You see Cam Newton
Yeah, I want him to win so bad, but it's just something's not clicking.
Now, what if it's the scheme? They're not getting open for him. They're not getting open for him, and it's only so many plays that they run. It's just like they can kind of know what
They're
what
not
you're
getting
gonna do.
open for him. They maybe they block for him like maybe every other down. He's getting touched a lot, and you know that affects confidence. If your pocket breaks down like that, and you don't trust that you have time to check for somebody downfield, that has to affect it as well. I feel bad for him, and then I also feel like this is really like when you said, is it the schemes? This is really on Bill Belichick to prove that it wasn't just Tom Brady, that it was play calling and that it was good coaching. But all I see is that, okay, you have Cam Newton and you're doing a bunch of shit that the Carolina Panthers tried to do, which didn't work. Like, why are you switching up for Cam? Why don't you just apply good coaching and have his skill set meet your good coaching? So I don't know. It's just, I feel bad for him. I really wanted him to win.
Now, we're finna switch it up. I can't think of my man's name, but I'm sure you've been seeing him online. He's been trending. What's his name? Is it Kevin?
Oh yes.
Oh, you know my man, right?
Yeah.
So
I got nervous because I'm not I don't know what's going on in the world, but I know what you're talking about. I think. Let me let you finish. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'll let you finish.
Okay, well, he gives hard criticism to females who may, think themselves, but he just tell them straight up from a man point of view who has options. Not every man, but men who have options. A single man making 6 figures, no children. If you have a child, if you have 2 children, you don't have no options. He do. I mean, yeah, he coming hard like that. Now I advise you to sit back and watch his videos because I already know how he's talking. you gonna put your, spin on it too. But he goes hard in the paint. But when he talk, I look at myself too. Cause I'm like, oh man, he talking. It sounds like a prideful thing coming from a male, but at the same time, he be like, shit, I ain't got my shit together. I'm messed up too. Let me shut up. He had them
Okay.
feeling like that.
Yeah. So it's not just women bashing. He's saying something that really just equates to a hard truth about life. Men and women, this is the hard fact of it all. I mean, I didn't know about him until that
Woo.
one incident became, viral, as it will. And then I was watching something where they were going back and forth and debating it, and they actually played the clip where he told her, you're average at best. And and then another clip was saying that basically he was telling somebody, telling a woman that they would probably die alone. And you're right, I do have a Miss Cotton spin on it. I do. Yes, I do. Okay.
Now, was
Because
they playing just hold it now? Were they just playing snippets, or
yes,
did you hear the
just
whole?
I did not. So I'm
Okay,
taking
you
it
got
out
to
of
hear the
context.
whole thing.
I gotta hear the whole
Hear the
thing.
whole thing.
Tell me what I need to know before I go in. Because I've only
But basically, I already told you, it's a fine women he interviewed, and they tell him their situation. But it's like, but it's with the children and the expectations of a man, and when they don't have their life in order, how they want their life to be in order, it's a problem. And another one, this is a good one right here. A black woman on there. She when they find love, or when they find white man or whatever, they found love. A successful black woman found a white man. It's, oh, I found love. But when you have a brother, you marry down. And he broke that down. So, ooh, you have to really hear it yourself, because I know you would really throw your spin on it.
Now, would
And
you
I advise,
agree with that?
yeah. I have to know that woman's background and her history. But have heard a lot of women go that way because we ain't been, honest with our women. We ain't been treating our women good.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, I can understand that. But at the same time, it's just like, damn, it could be a hard working brother out here.
That's right.
But you still gonna, nah, I'm marrying down instead of just being happy and being in love. But when it's a white man, oh, I found love, child. I got this rock or whatever. He give me compliments. He opened the door for me, and little stuff like that. And it's like, damn, my brother can't do that. The brother do that too. But it's always what he was saying, marrying down when you get with a black man, but you find love when you got a white man. In so many words, you have to hear it. I advise you, like I said, check it out 30 minutes before you lay down.
Okay, I will give it a chance because I think it's very interesting. I think that the Black family, and then ultimately how Black men and women relate to each other, that's hugely important. That's hugely important if we're going to continue as a people. I mean, that's just what it is. Of course, I believe that love is love, and I'm for the rainbow and everything like that. However, but it just is what it is. And if we're going to just talk about moving forward and growing wealth and continuing as a people, we have to procreate, which means that Black love has to be at the center of everybody's conversation. And how do we fix it? And how do we, love on each other and protect each other? Because the Black family is being attacked in order to, divest our community of wealth. That's what you do. But having said that, it's just very complicated because the goal of marriage in this society really is a thing of protecting wealth. And so those are two different things, whether a woman and a man want to come together because they want to be together, if they want to be happy. And it's quite another if we're talking about we want to go into business partnership and be married. Those are two different things, and they require two different criteria for how you're going to choose. And so we talk about it all the time with celebrities when they marry someone, which really needs to be a business decision because that has to do with wealth. They're going off of this, she's pretty, or she looks good, and they don't necessarily make the best choice for this is a business decision. In the long run, is this person going to be there for me? Will they make me soup when I'm sick? Will they change my diapers? Am I going to get sick of her? Is she so pretty that she didn't have a chance to work on her personality, and then 10 years later she's still acting like a 20-year-old and there's no depth, and she's, basically like dumb, so all of those things. And I'm speaking from the man's point of view, because for a woman, when, like you said, when a woman is trying to find a good man, society is tricking us to believe you want this European standard of a good man has money, a good man can provide for you, regardless of, seems like what this guy is pointing out, regardless of, okay, you want 6 figures, you want this guy to be handsome, you want him to have good credit, you want him to have his own house, you want him to be an entrepreneur and play sports and build you a house and fix the car. But, you got 4, 5 kids, 4, 5 stomachs, or whatever it is that he's saying, like, it doesn't add up. Like, what you want is not what you're going to get. So you have this society that's like, on the men saying, well, they're telling me if I'm worth anything, I have to have money in the bank. I got to have all this stuff going on. And then once I get there, then society tells you the good woman is the good looking one, the Instagram model, the Kardashian adjacent, the racially ambiguous. That's who you should go for. When all of it is completely fucked. All of it is completely fucked. If you continue to make these shallow decisions, if you continue to put in the same basket love and marriage when they are not always in the same basket, if you don't understand what that means to partner with someone for life and love someone and choose someone in the long haul, and that marriage has more to do with, you can't choose your wife the way you choose your car. Okay, you
Oh
just can't.
yeah, absolutely.
And I
You
don't think
definitely
it's
got to go
fair.
through
I
some.
don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that Black women discount Black men, because, like I said, I'm a person who firmly believes in the family unit, in the point of a man. And I don't like that it's, if you get with a man and he doesn't have like all that whole laundry list of things, that he's automatically discounted. He's not a doctor, he's not a lawyer, but just not understanding what other type of currency does this man have. It can't just be a paycheck. It can't just be a job, because men like that are transactionally trying to buy women that don't look like you. So where is the education? Where's the fellowship or the sorority, right? Why aren't women mothers teaching daughters how to choose a good man that treats you right, that helps you shine, that helps you grow spiritually, that, if, as it is now, just statistically speaking, we do make more than Black men. Black women make more than Black men. There are more of us than there are you. This has been systematically happening. We have more access to capital. A lot of, over the years, a lot of locking up our Black men, a lot of feminizing our Black men. So first of all, that statement of some of you are gonna die alone, that's true, and that fucking sucks. So what are we gonna do as a people, since we're outnumbered by 5 to 1? For every 5 Black women, there's only one of you. And y'all feel like when you do get to the 6 figures, I got this, I got that, then you're looking at people that you look up to. You're looking at Dr. Dre, you're looking at all these other people, and oh, this who I need to get, this who I need to go get. Instead of, once again, can we take it back to the original thing of marriage is to grow wealth? It's a business decision. Breaking down and breaking apart the Black family is just one way how you keep us down, because that's how you, when you talk about generational wealth, what do you think that means? It means I married you, we had some kids, and we passed our wealth down to the kids. But if you are taking away marriages where people acquire things and pass it down to kids, now you got single family homes, men marrying outside and that money's not ours anymore. Women marrying outside because, you know, and now the money's not ours anymore. To your point, because they don't know how to pick a partner that might be good in life in the long run. They're picking status, they're picking, you know, Instagram. This is what it looks like. We have a big wedding, we have this, we have that. My babies are beige or whatever. Why women make the choices, why men and women make their choices, I don't know. But what it appears to be is a bunch of bullshit. I do think Black love should be at the center of everybody's conversation. If you care about wealth, if you care about politics, if you just care about Black people being around. You know, if you don't understand the Beijing of the world, the fact that genocide is happening and that Black people are disappearing and beige people are taking over. And I know that sounds very ironic because, you know, hello, but it's true, right? Like we're disappearing. So if you just care about us being around, if you want to see Black people around in 50, 60 years, let's talk about Black love and let's not make fun of women who can't help it. They may not partner. Why are we shunning women? Why are we making them feel bad if they get to 30, 40 and there's no man? Why don't we still celebrate auntie so-and-so that don't have no man, but you know what? She focused on her career, and let's keep a community and let's not shun her and let's not make women feel bad if they don't have a man.
And she just may want to be like a dude, may want to be a bachelor. Why can't she just do her thing?
But you can't
I
make
have no problem. She's happy. If I make her happy, cool. I don't see what the problem is. But man, it's lovely that you said that you take Black first for real. You know, same skin folk ain't the same kin folk. You know,
all right
people be
now.
just, you know, look at you. Yes, but you are black
So I
all
don't think
day.
he should be telling that woman that. That may be the reality. And so my whole point is he's right, but is it right? He's right, but is it right? You're right. The reality of the situation is she's probably not going to get that baller, but is that right? Shouldn't we be reprogramming ourselves to teach Black men, hey, it's really hard. Once you get there, once you make it, you know, you only need 400,000 to be part of the 1%. So once you make that money, why aren't we reprogramming ourselves to say, you need to look for the sister that can do this, that can do this, that can do that. And she might not look the way you think she gonna look. Her hair might be a little nappy. It might be, and that's okay. We need to reprogram ourselves. To Black women, you cannot do it for yourself. Go to school, get 5 degrees. I'm talking for myself, right? Do all this, be all this, and then look around and be like, well, where are all the men? You may have to marry a plumber, and that's okay. You may have to marry a man who all he do is coach the little league, but he love you, he love them kids, he keep the house safe, and he balances your energy. And most important, he continues our race. Most importantly, you and him make a unit. Most importantly, you and him got 2 incomes. So it shouldn't matter. And you shouldn't say, well, now that I have these degrees, I can only get a man that has this, this, and that. We have to stop telling men that the only thing they're worth is money and then getting mad when there's this, okay, you want a man with more money than you, but you want to have the power in the relationship. You don't want to talk about who's submissive. You don't want to talk about, well, who's going to lead, who's going to follow. But I want a man that's a millionaire. Okay, well, then that's somebody calling shots all day long. And then you want him to come home and listen to you. He's going to come home. And so it's just a mess. We need to reprogram ourselves to choose differently. It's nothing wrong with aspiring to want what you want, but you got to look at what you're giving up to get that. And ultimately, is that what you want? Because we've seen a lot of people who have it all 20 years later. Nicole wants half, right? Nicole Young, Dr. Dre's wife, won't half. Larsa Pippen out here making Scotty look stupid as hell.
Oh my God! Now tell me about that. I've been seeing it, but I didn't go into that. I mean, what is up with?
That's what I'm trying to say. No. I'm sorry, but any man will tell you, right? Like, what did Chris Rock tell everybody? you know, it's good, but ain't nothing better than some new. So it don't matter how fire it is, don't matter how beautiful you are, it's the newness of it. And most of these weirdos, most of these dudes that are going after Larsa are just obsessed with Scottie Pippen. Like it's just the cachet
Man.
of, oh, I'm with Scotty's piece. It's not even her. It's just who she is. It's like, ooh, I'm with somebody that was with Scottie Pippen. Ooh, but she's gonna get old just like anybody else. She's not above being cheated on. If Jay-Z could cheat on Beyonce, that should let you bitches know you ain't safe. That ain't it. That ain't it. But that's what I'm saying. If you choose a Larsa, now all that money you made, eh, there's no legacy. You can't pass that on. She's not gonna change your diapers. But maybe had you had chosen the 6, like Kevin called that woman a 6, maybe had you had chosen a 5, maybe you could have had legacy. Maybe you could have passed that down to your kids. Do you see what I'm saying? He may have been right, but is
Yeah.
it right? But is it right? You
Mm,
know,
mm, mm, mm.
maybe you can get you a little 5,
Wow.
maybe get you a 5, 4, 4, 5, 6, you know, they look, you know, and then also, you know, I'm serious. Well, okay.
Yeah, and you know what? It's not about no looks. It's about those attributes. I
Yeah,
had to live long
exactly.
enough.
To
I had to live long
yes.
enough to know that. And I've lost 2 girlfriends in my life. Lost them. And
Lost.
it's a difference between breaking up and then somebody dying on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and I can recall where I wasn't so good in a relationship at that time, and I be thinking sometimes, did I alter the way her life was? You know, could I change some things? But hey, it
But
is what it is on
too
that.
late now. Well,
Oh my God.
well,
Woo, man.
but that's the
Wow.
thing. That's what I'm saying about like wanting to be with someone, wanting to partner with someone.
Mhm.
Isn't that the ultimate like pathway to self-actualization? Because people that are around you, people that are brought into your sphere are mirrors of you. And so this to say that you don't need a man or you don't want a woman, it's also like saying you don't want to look in a mirror, because that's all relationships really are. It isn't the like, I'm not saying that every woman should aspire to marriage. I'm not saying that. But what I
Oh
am
no.
saying is that we're not on this earth alone for a reason. And all of your experiences and the people that you meet, they're all mirrors to help you grow. So if you become this bitter man or this bitter woman where you don't want to be in relationships, or I don't need this or I don't need that, or all men are trash, so I'm just going to be alone. It's really like, are all men trash, or you just don't want to pick up that mirror and really kind of work out what your issues are?
Now, let me ask you this.
Oh.
What do you think females really like far as in to make a happy relationship? You think they like humor? Is humor a good thing?
It's for me, I can only say for me, it's security. It is
Really?
security. Yep. It's security.
Wow.
Now, what what makes life interesting is definitely the friendship. And then humor is a big part of that, because women are, we get bored, and so we want to be entertained. So when you look at, if you could peek into somebody's home and they're friends and they're laughing and they have shared interest, that's probably going to be a happy relationship. But for me, what I need for this person to be the one, for me to feel like I want to bear your children, I have to feel safe and secure. And that's what I mean by reprogramming. What does security mean? Because I think that we just keep teaching women that security means money in the bank. And that's not what security actually is.
No, no.
So,
And you know what? Security, like you said, it's been a whole bunch of weekends when I was on child support, for instance.
mm-hmm,
I wasn't one going out in the clubs enjoying the Young Jeezy and the Ti days, you know, going to the club, trapping a dime. I was in the house on the weekends with my child. I mean, good discipline, going through the fire, you know, great discipline, but it
yeah,
sucked. It sucked. And I hear a lot of guys say, man, you you doing your thing, man. I see you doing your thing. And it's not a lot of guys that want to do that sacrifice. Still to this day,
To this day.
right now, that weekends are
Yeah.
more valuable
I
than
would
spending time with.
argue that that's exactly my point. So a woman who says, this is what I'm looking for in a man, very rarely thinks about like what you just said, but then complains later on that you weren't there for me. You were emotionally unavailable. You didn't bond with your kids, but you wanted somebody with $1 million. You wanted a high powered lawyer. Do you understand that you can't have both? That's what I mean by reprogram. Men and women, reprogram yourself to really look at what's important to you, because in 30 years, let's not revisit the conversation of, well, you weren't a present father. Well, did you want a lawyer? You want somebody to be home with your kids and want your kids to be happy and healthy and whole. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like what part are you missing? What part are you missing? What part are you missing? So when men be like, well, she don't cook, she don't clean. When you met someone who you can see purchase their body parts, you know that takes maintenance. So here's someone who wakes up, it takes them 2 hours to do makeup, constantly worrying about how good they look, but then you mad because they don't cook. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Do you want this that takes a while to look like this? It takes a while. It takes a while. That takes a while. It takes a while. You can't, shit on these women with their, full face of makeup and they dress like that. Takes time. So you want somebody to look this way and cook you some, greens. It's not going to happen. It's one or the other. I think it's important that you took that time to be hands-on with your kids. It's going to make the difference in your son's life, the type of man that he is and will continue to be. All of that matters. That's currency to me. That's valuable to me. That means more than a man who, maybe your contemporaries at the time, they're at the club and they got the spree wells and they got women based on that, but there's no substance. So now the choices you make are based on all this flash that you see, and then you wondering why, like, damn, why you won't go play catch with your son? Like, damn. So that's what I'm saying. We just all need to make better choices. It ain't what you think it is.
Now, I don't know if you've seen this online. This was pretty wild right here, but
What?
There's this guy going around. He's asking these women. They have two options. You mess with a man with a big D, he could cheat once a month. Or would you be happy with the guy with a small D to be loyal? And you would be surprised of the answers you would get.
I would be surprised. I think I would be surprised.
I'm girl, I have to be with the cheater. I'm sorry. I said, damn. I said, it's like, and you know, all I'm kept on saying, size matter, size matter. Oh God, I can't do nothing with that. I ain't gonna be. I can't. I can't even fake it. I can't even fake it like that. I said, damn, dude, better do some exercising or something.
That's interesting. Okay, that's very interesting. So did that trigger? Because just today we were listening. I was listening to a podcast with Mr. and they said very similar that this guy said, "Would you rather be with Precious or this Instagram model, Billy? I don't know, very pretty, really, really pretty girl, or Precious? Precious has a bunch of money, no kids, got it going on. Not Precious, but the actress. I don't.
Yeah, the actress.
Gabby.
Yes.
Gabrielle.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I can't think of her name, and I hate that. It will come to me, but Gabrielle, Gabourey. Anyway, so the woman that plays her, or the very pretty girl who got 4 kids, don't do the. So I wonder if he did that in response, because it's like that's what I'm saying. Like men and women are so shallow. Like which one you want? So it's the same thing. Which one would you pick?
No.
Which one would
I
you
mean,
pick?
any before they would be wasting my time.
See, so this is a
Ooh,
real thing. This is a real thing that men and women have to deal with. So as ridiculous as women's choices may be, that's how we feel. Like that's like saying to you all, would you rather this? She's got good credit,
exactly.
she got a bunch of money, but this is what come with, or this girl over here, she got issues, 4, 5 kids, she lay on the couch all day.
I
And
would deal
you
with it.
see, so it's the same thing. Like men and women have got to get it together. Y'all got to get it together.
Oh,
My God.
whew. Oh
Oh
my God.
my God. Get it
That's
together.
wild.
Yes, that's wild. That's
That's wild,
awful.
man.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Well, I mean, you got to be real with yourself too. I'm not gonna lie. If I have a woman, who's not too animated in bed, just
a pillow
no.
princess.
You, I gotta have some action. It is what it is on it. I'm a man, and I believe sex is a big part of a relationship too.
Well,
It involves happiness.
talk about it.
It
Yes,
involves happiness
yes,
both ways, both
yes.
ways. But it's just like some females, I guess, when I catch a holy streak, they want to be holier than thou, and then they just cut everything off. Got the chastity belt on, and it's a wrap. I'm like, damn, what happened? You used to. Well, no, I found the
Because
Lord now.
men send out mixed messages. You have women. Well, now all hope is lost because of Cardi B. I mean, God bless her, but now
Oh my
she has
God.
sold the dream to all the girls that hoes are winning. So I don't really think it should be a problem moving forward, what you're talking about. But in the past, women who were loose and who were very sexually free, and hey, it is what it is, then men are looking down on them and calling them hoes and everything like that, and they want a good girl. But then when you get a good girl, you're like, well, why you not a freak
You
in the
gonna
bed?
do it right?
So
No,
you send in mixed
no, I
messages.
know.
So
I've been
that's
there, done
that's
that.
that's the problem. It's much of the same. It's more of the same. You want this Madonna woman who is untouched. And let me tell you this, because I'm speaking from personal experience, what does end up happening is, like, I honestly understood the term trophy wife. And can I just say how awful that position is, to have been chased and to have been desired for what you look like, and oh, you're so precious and you're such a good girl, and really and literally that man just put you on the shelf, and that's just it. Like, you're just on the shelf and you can't move around and you're stuck and you're just like a trophy. Like, it's awful. It's awful. Women lose in this patriarchal society where there's just this narrow view of, yeah, we want exciting sex. Well, how you think people get good at sex? You got to keep having it. So that means you want a woman with experience. But then when you see a woman with experience, she's a hoe. So it's like, which one do you want? And I think that men want this like really nice, good looking woman. And then when they get her, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna just sit you here and then I'm gonna go on the street to find somebody wild. But you at home and I love you and you on the shelf. Hi, you're beautiful. Like, that's awful too. So can we get it together?
So
Black men and women, we got to get it together.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's a Venus and Mars thing, right?
It's a societal problem, and it's all starting with misunderstanding marriage. And that question that you asked earlier, which was like making my skin crawl, about loyalty, because let's talk about it. What place does monogamy have in society? What place does that have? And perhaps the person that is going to be a good life partner for you, perhaps the person that may make a good wife, may not be the person that knocks your socks off. So why have we put ourselves in a box in this society that you have a wife that you love and respect and cherish, and you're going to live a great life to them? Why does loyalty have to include this possession or ownership that you will never have sex with someone else? And I have to tell you, biologically speaking, what ends up happening with a man and a woman is the roles change after a while. After you plant your seed in a woman, you look at her differently. And it may be that your attraction level changes. And it may be that a woman is looking at you differently. Now you're also the father of her child, right? Like, you used to be my freak in the bed, but now you like you my kid's mother. I still want to be able to enjoy you. I still want to have intimacy with you. But can we talk about the fact that it may solve a lot of problems if you were allowed to go get your freak on with somebody that wasn't also the mother of your child without that ending your relationship? Like, why is loyalty even the choice? Like, you don't own people. Like, stop that. That's weird. You don't own that person, and that's just weird. It's weird. It's weird. I don't like that. Icky, icky. Stop that. Why would you want somebody to just like, you just mine, you mine forever, ever? And I'm not saying that I want to have, more than what I have, or to have multiple partners. I'm just saying, can we talk about it? Does it have to be the deal breaker? Can as logical human beings, can we come to the table and say, especially because you want this thing to last after 20, 30 years, you don't think that person wants to have sex with someone else? You don't think that? I mean, like, so if somebody said you can only eat this one thing for the rest of your life, you're gonna eat rice every night for the rest of your life?
Ooh,
That's
Lord.
crazy. That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
now that's interesting. I was thinking about this earlier this week. I can recall in my life where I was actually in love with two women.
Oh.
Man, that was some shit. I
Mm.
mean, I really had feelings for both of the women, and I eventually told each other about each other. And I was torn.
Yeah.
I was really torn.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to leave one because I thought I was gonna hurt the other.
Yeah. Well, you would, and you most likely lost both of them. Yeah. Because people think I love you means you're mine. I think that people don't hear the difference in the words. And I think that there's this, if you're not with me and only me, then you don't really love me. And that to me sounds like a condition. It sounds like maybe we need to embrace the idea of unconditional love. If you love somebody, you love them regardless of anything. That's the condition, unconditional. You can't say, I love you, but only if the only woman that you ever talk to, the only woman that you ever look at, the only woman that you ever want is me. Other than that, then I don't love you. Well, then you never did love that person. Like, if you just love somebody, then just love them. If you're in a partnership, then be in a partnership. You're gonna tell. It just doesn't logically make sense to me that you're never gonna be attracted to someone other than the partner that you chose. That. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. Back to what you said in your point in your life, can men be in love with two different women? Now that's something different. No, I'm not going for that. You can't sit up here and tell me that I have to have a sister wife. No, for you to be in love with two different people, I think it's a lot on it. I think that would be difficult for any woman to accept. But monogamy, I'm not saying that go get you a girlfriend. I'm not saying emotionally be invested in someone. What I'm saying is, if you're in a partnership with someone and you see and you're attracted to someone sexually because of the way that they look, or you like their personality, I don't know that should be a deal breaker for a relationship. But me personally, no, I'm not going to have two households running at the same time where I love you and I love them. That's that's polygamy, and that's different. And I understand that's the lifestyle for some people, but that's a lot on it. But
Two
I get
kings and
it.
two queens cannot live in the same kingdom.
No,
No.
No,
No.
no. See, you see what I'm saying? Like those are two different things. I'm not gonna leave you if you saw a pretty girl pass by and you're like, ooh, wee, okay. And I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm not saying that that's what I want, but that would not make me leave someone that I'd say that I love you and we're in partnership with. But it can't be no two queens. It can't be I got a house and we got a house and you go back and forth between the houses. No. Okay. No. That's a no.
What if he had Bruce Wayne money?
I don't care. What does that mean if
Ooh,
you have Bruce Wayne? That's what I'm saying. Because then that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Because
just
see,
saying,
that's what
I'm
men
just saying.
think. That's what the Kevin guy is saying. The more money you have, then it becomes transactional. Then it's almost like saying, then your woman is a possession, like you're buying her. That's why women have a problem with the word submit, because men think that that's what that means. Men think if I have enough money, then I can treat you any way I want. Like it's a transaction. Like here's this money and now you have to shut the fuck up. And that's not, no, you still have to respect a woman, even if she is submitting to you and allowing your dominant energy to be the dominant energy. That doesn't mean that you just get to do whatever the fuck you want to do because I bought you a Birkin bag and you live in a 7,000 square foot house. So shut up while I go see Keisha. No.
Ooh, she said Keisha. That is my
Well, I'm
baby
just
mama.
saying.
Lord
Oh,
have mercy.
it's nothing wrong with the name.
Lord have
I love the
mercy.
Keishas. I'm sorry. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I did not know. What are the odds? What are the odds that the random
Talking about me
name that
right
I
now.
say, I'm sorry. No.
Oh my
On that
God.
note, I'm sorry.
Miss Joy, you know what? I don't think females are like hearing you talk. You too real.
Really? I think a
Oh
lot of I think
yeah. I mean,
many
you
women think
you
like
hitting
me,
some
but
real shit.
okay. Well, okay.
You giving people the, especially I'm thinking about the things you're saying, and I know if a female would hear that, they're not ready to hear a guy being not, a guy looking at another woman and spitting at what you spitting. They ain't trying to hear that shit.
But it
It's always
doesn't
about
make
me,
any
me, me,
sense.
me,
It
me.
doesn't make any sense. What would make you think that because you stood in a white dress and said I do, that this person's biological function shuts off? This person still can see. This person still, it's pheromones. It just is what it is. For me to think that you would
Ah,
not be attracted to other people is fucking weird. That's weird. It's pretty people in the world. But see, that's what I'm saying about self-actualizing and meeting someone that you're evenly yoked with. It's beautiful things in the world. The world is pretty. People are pretty. The world is full of beautiful things. You can't just possess someone and say you're mine and nothing else. Like it's just a lot. Like if someone could explain to me how that might work, I'm not saying that I'll never understand it. I'm just saying my current understanding is at this level, and this is how I see it. But I'm welcome to dialogue if people could teach me what I don't see. I want to learn. I'm here to learn. That's just how I see it for now, based on evidence of my reality.
I
I
believe
know
you
a
done
little
been.
bit.
I believe you done been here before, like as a Renaissance woman or something, artist or poet or something. I mean,
Well, and I'm a woman of a particular age, and I have been in relationships that worked but still didn't last, and relationships that didn't work and didn't last. So I feel like now that I'm in a healthy relationship where I made a conscious decision to choose a partner and attract a partner to me that isn't perfect but is a good fit for me, I feel like it can be done. You can make a conscious decision. You can partner wisely with people. You can grow with people. You can find someone that you can be safe with. And again, it's just about changing our dialogue with each other. You know, sometimes it works out for people getting in relationships young. Sometimes they can grow with people. But I think just me being older has a lot to do with that because you hear women say it all the time, who they were at 20 is not who they are at 30, and it's not who they are at 40. But society puts so much pressure on women. They want to get married at 23, 24, 25, and it's like, what the fuck? And the person who you are is not who you're going to become. So that's a lie anyway. Like, you met this man and married this man, and now you're a whole different ass woman. So it's 10 years later and you're just not her anymore. So who's that fair to? But sometimes it works. I have people close to me that have been together forever, and they're friends first though, and they're in successful relationships and successful marriages. My best friend has been with her partner for 2 decades, and my brother and sister have been together for like 30 years, like since they were kids. But it's very rare that you can grow up with someone. I don't know. So I said all that to say, you also need to come to a relationship healthy. See, that's the other part Kevin don't tell these women. It's not your looks that keeps a man. It's being crazy. Like, you gotta be cool. Like, you gotta have that moment to grow with yourself, so that a man wants to stay with you. Like, you, or
Your
that
mental
you want
health
to,
is
your
for
mental
real.
health, right?
Yeah, it's for
That's
real, you
be
know.
stable, yeah, and be into yourself and love yourself and be cool, and because otherwise you're gonna drive anyone away. You're gonna drive friends away. You're gonna drive opportunities away. You're gonna drive a man away, a woman away, whoever. You're gonna drive them away. You need to work on yourself.
I hear you. Is that little mom in the background?
Yes. Do you hear my baby? She's saying,
Yeah.
"Come on, mama, you're running your mouth."
I hear you right here. It's about time for mama to go be mama right about now. It's been about
Yeah.
an hour, hasn't it?
Yep. 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 Yep.
Wow.
Yep. We didn't even scratch the surface of stuff that we really need to talk about. But I, for one, was getting upset. Like, hello, when are we gonna have some time to cook? So I'm glad that you made time for
Oh
this
yeah.
evening.
Oh yeah. And then most definitely, if we do something this week, next week or whatnot,
Yes,
I have some notes we can go over. But I'm glad to just touch bases with you. I ain't seen you in
exactly. Just jump
forever.
in.
Yeah,
I know it's
yeah.
been a
So
minute.
guess I see you. Same bad place, same bad time.
Yes. All right.
That's
What do we want the people to do?
like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You will be notified. Peace and a ball of Hagrid's, people.
Bye.
Bye bye.